Ken Reid, also from SportsNet, but most people will remember him from Telecable 10 in Dartmouth. Always wearing the wool hat. I've interviewed you twice. Always with the wool hat, eh? Big wool hat guy.
My house is old, man. It's cold. That's what's going on here in Toronto. I just have a cold house. Bidwell, I got a question for you. After Ray comes over for dinner, where's the strangest place Andrea ever found one of Ray's spit cups? Like behind the Lazy Boy, in the fridge? Because he's watching the Briar. He's got to go through at least a 10.5.
Yeah, he's listening right now. So he always likes this. Ken has created a different character for my dad. And in Ken's mind, he thinks my dad is an ex-bull rider shank and that he chews tobacco all the time.
All the time. It's in my mind.
Kenny, you could sit down with Ray and Wayne Armstrong at a nice West Side establishment in Saskatoon. That would be it, wouldn't it be?
Yes, absolutely. If you ever seen the movie Urban Cowboy, remember John Travolta's uncle in that movie? That's how I envision Ray Bidwell as. Well, I don't know if you want to ride that thing. You know, that kind of thing. He's got his belt buckles. He's showing them off. He's got his heater in the whole time, you know. Yeah. He's the kind of guy that's never sat at a hockey game in rural Saskatchewan. He just leans up against the glass. That 7 is looking pretty good out there. Yeah. You know, that kind of guy.
Yeah, and then the Zamboni breaks down, and he's the guy that goes over and helps. He knows how to fix it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ray, we got that problem again with the manifold.
And Hope's got her mittens on around her hot chocolate up in the stands. Ray never talks to her at a hocky game. He's down with the boys.
Hope is pissed about something that the Blue Jays did. It's in February.
I can't blame Hope at all. Hope must have had a pretty pissed off winter.
So
wow, you nailed it.
We kind of teed up some of the local stuff going on here in Sasky. People know you're tied here. You love Sasky, even though you're a Pictou County, Maritimes guy. It's senior hockey. Like this weekend was crazy. Like there were some game 3s. The Round Lake Bears playing on the Ochapowace First Nations. Some ex-NHLers on that squad. It's that time of the year here. And I remember when we interviewed you on the Nooner, you talked about Teapot Dana Johnson. And so you get it. You get what we're going through in Sasky right now.
Totally get it. I heard you doing the highlights there. What was the name of the league? The Highway League? The something Highway League?
Qu'Appelle Valley Highway Hockey League. So the Qu'Appelle Valley and the Highway Hockey League merged a few years ago. So instead of just coming up with a shorter, easier name, they just said, no, use it all.
Because you couldn't keep anybody happy if you did that. See, I love that. That's what hockey should be, and that's what hockey is at its essence. There's still over 100 senior hockey teams in Saskatchewan. That is just epic. I love that the guys come back and still play in it. And to me, that's what hockey is. And Teapot could fit in Sasky, no problem. And Sasky folks could fit in Nova Scotia, no problem. The only difference is we can see water and have hills, and you guys can do it up. But it's just, I find Canada anywhere outside of the Golden Horseshoe is the same. Like if you leave Toronto, we're all the same. Toronto's a little different. Houses are drafty, as you can see from my hat. But today I went to the local rink. And my kids' grade 6 team, it was their elementary school city finals. And it reminded me of old school hockey because all the students are there from the school. There's no overpaid skills coach. There's no systems. It's just hockey, pure hockey. And I think that's what you get in the small towns around Canada. And we forget it's called hockey. It's not called Toronto Maple Leafs. There's a lot more to hockey than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's a good point. What's one thing you could bring back? Like I know you're kind of famous with the pucks in deep, which it's more of a possession game now. But if you could bring one thing back from growing up and watching the game, what would it be?
I have this theory that the best way you could change the game and make it into what it once was, and the game is most entertaining when there's more mistakes, and I think the game is extremely overcoached. If I could make a rule in the NHL, it would be this: only one coach and one trainer allowed on the bench, because it makes for more mistakes. Guys are responsible for their own line changes. They're going to be screwing up. They're not going to review anything. Next time you watch a game, look behind the players. It's a lineup of humans there, and everybody is overcoached. So if I could make a rule for the NHL, one coach, one trainer on the bench, and no IFB, which is your earpiece to the eye in the sky. If you want to communicate, you could come down between periods. So I think and it would never happen. But I think Freddie Shearer was the first guy to have an assistant coach. So if we could just have one coach on the bench and one trainer, I think that'd be awesome, because it would make the players think more themselves and not just be so into systems. Get rid of the instigator rule as well.
Could see Connor McDavid opening the gate. Here
exactly.
You need one guy to open the gate, and that's great. What's up with what's up on the book front with you? Like the last time, I loved Hometown Heroes, right?
Thank you.
Shout out Tyson Watney. All of it in there. What's up on the book front for you?
Well, I got a book coming out in the fall with Simon & Schuster, and it's on scouts. And it's not, how do I scout a guy? What do I look for? It is old school scout stories, like driving across the prairie. So I got good Regina boy Brad Davis in there, whose dad, Lorne Davis, was a legendary scout for the Oilers. I got a good Saski guy named Kenny Fox, who once upon a time put a skinny kid who didn't even have a broken nose named Colby Armstrong on his sheet and drafted him to Red Deer and got Aaron Asham to Red Deer. So I got some good old school scout stories. So I went through the West, I went through Quebec, I went through the East, and I just, I wanted to know what it's like to, as Kenny Fox said, jump in a beat up old Ford Tempo and drive to rural Manitoba to scout Aaron Asham in AA. So that's what I got going.
Nice. Old school scouting. Kenny, I got to tell you this. You'll like this. I got a text from Kevin Killer Kaminsky.
Nice.
Of course. And he's listening. He's listening right now. And he said, you tell Kenny, Killer Hockey says no instigator rule as well.
That's right. You're damn right, Killer. Listen, I don't think Killer would have cared if there is an instigator rule, man. You tell Killer, I said no one takes the fort. Halifax Citadels for life. That's the first time I saw Kevin Kaminsky was on a program by Ken Dryden called The Game. It was amazing. They followed Kevin.
We have the fight.
Yeah.
We have it.
Yeah. They followed Kevin when he was playing for the Blades. It was amazing. They went to his hometown. I followed him ever since. He gets drafted by the North Stars, and he goes to the Nordiques. He ends up playing in the American League in Halifax. Then I see him in Portland, Maine. I met him in Portland, Maine. And then I find out that when he was in Halifax, you tell Killer this, that he was buddies with my buddy Paul Bromby, who used to be the doorman at JJ's and worked at the Palace. So it's a small world. And Kevin Kaminsky will always be a legend in Nova Scotia for what he did for the Citadels, man.
Yeah, well, you were in a pub or something like that. I remember, and you took a picture. You were pointing up at it, and in some pub you were at.
Yep.
There's
It was in Hollowell, Maine.
Jersey and pictures.
Yep, in Hollowell, Maine. I was at a buddy's place down there, and they had Killer's Portland Pirates jersey on the wall. So yeah, I know Kevin doesn't go to watering holes anymore, but it was a watering hole. But don't worry, Kevin, I wasn't watering.
That Ken Dryden, was it the Game or Home Game?
Something like that, the Game or Home Game. But yeah, it was a 10-part series, 1 hour docs. It was amazing.
Bidsy, you'll love this. The library at the Cosmo Civic Center in Saskatoon had them all. So when I would go and take them out, rent them, take them back. Now you can't find. I looked up the other day. I'm like, why can't I watch this?
Kevin's episode is on YouTube.
Is it?
Yes, it's amazing.
Oh.
It's incredible.
And the two scouts are in the stands at the Memorial Cup, and he's here they go. And Ty Domi. Oh,
yeah. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Those are two old school scouts. Those are guys you probably talked to. They're guys like that. They're in the stands, and they're like, okay, Kevin Kaminsky, Ty Domi for the Petes. Watch when these two get out. Oh, yeah, here they're out together. Oh, yeah, here they go.
Yeah, well, that was one of the stories Brad Davis told me. It was the lockout year, and they had, there was tons of time. What it was the lockout year, so the budgets were such that they couldn't go to Europe as much. So he ends up scouting a lot of. He even scouted Tier 2 in Edmonton, in Toronto, and he falls in love with Andrew Cogliano. And there's this game in the playoffs, and Cogliano's the 17-year-old stud on his team. There's a 17-year-old stud on the other team, and he said they went at it again, Le Cavalier style, and they just took the old pen out and was like, made his notes, and they drafted Cogliano. So yeah, but that episode with Kevin playing for the Saskatoon Blades.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch that this evening. There it is. We got trade deadline coming up here this week. Do you think that is it going to be the trickling? Like we see the one today from the Oilers. We're going to have it's not like the old days, boys, wasn't it? Where there was no social media and all that. Like you were glued, and then you picked up that rag the next morning to look through what you missed. Now it's kind of sprinkling, and then it comes Friday. I don't know, Kenny. What do you think? Are we going to see anything big happen? Surprising?
First off, social media sucks. It's ruined everything. Imagine Bidwell, me and you at Cowboys with social media back in the day.
And Eric Francis.
Exactly.
Yeah,
social
Francis
media ruined the NHL.
sure.
I've been told that social media ruined the NHL road trip, among other things. So these poor guys now can't even go have a Pepsi without some dork recording them on their phone. Yeah, I think it's going to be the usual. Look at that trade today. The Oilers did what they had to do, went out, got Trent Frederick. They need some energy for their bottom six, so good move. But yeah, it'll be the old sit and wait, and then at 3:00 a bunch of stuff will come down, and the instant analysis and all that stuff if you're into that. But it's going to be tough to top some of the trades we've seen already, like Florida getting Seth Jones. That's pretty good, unless some Sasky boys get dealt out of St. Louis. I don't know how exciting a day it's going to be.
Or can a Sasky boy get dealt to St. Louis? How come no one's talking about Luke going to play with Braden?
Yeah, that'd be deadly. I mean, St. Louis is what, a point or two out, so they're not done. And there's a market for Bennington now, so that's interesting. So, there'll be big trades. There always are. I'm not the guy to ask what they will be. I just like reacting to them like everybody else.
Yeah, you do. You guys do a great job. You and Ivanka Osman. Is she is she a savvy? Like she seems like she's awesome to work with.
She is. She's
like just like having a pint with a buddy.
She is. I tick her off sometimes. I annoy the hell out of her. But Bidwell, you know about that. You've worked with me. She didn't do what our weatherman did. Busy, tell the story about how we annoyed Dar McBool so bad that he moved his desk. And then 10 days later, he's like, I miss you guys. I remember the good old days. We're like, Dar, that was friggin' 10 days ago, bud. So
he's like, Biddy, I moved my desk back now. You don't annoy me no more. Where's that Kenny Reid? Yeah.
Ivanka's great. We have a lot of fun. I don't watch games for numbers. I watch games for stories. So when the game's over, we just talk about it. And the only difference is at home, people might have a beer, and we don't have any beer on set yet. The show could evolve, though. You never know.
That's
it's
where
a nice
social media
lounge,
comes in.
As you refer to it.
Yes.
Luke Gazdick is a beauty there as well with you guys.
Awesome.
As well. I had a chance to. He was at the Riders game here, and I had a chance to play hockey with him too. And he is a true gentleman. That fella, real nice guy.
Perfect words for Luke. Engaging, curious about everyone and everything. Always wants to get better. Always wants to know what you're doing. Always wants to know what interests you. He's a very unselfish person. You can see why he played the role as a player because, I found through all my years, just like Killer, the toughest guys are the nicest guys, man. And Brad May explained it to me once. I'm like, how come all you guys that do the job are the nicest guys? He goes, you got to be nice to stick up for 19 of your buddies. So Gaz fits right in there.
Stu Grimson, such a nice guy. Dave Manson, nice guy.
Oh.
Do you watch any curling? You got to be a little bit of a no?
I don't. When I went to CTV Edmonton, I took the deep dive into curling because we covered curling hard there, and they bring back the highlights. Bidwell, you'll like this too, boys. And it's the old they show the scoreboard, and it's that old Ray Bidwell curling scoreboard. You know, like, you got a 7th in the 10th there, and then I'm looking at it going, what the hell is this? So I figured out how to do the curling scoreboard, the old Ray Bidwell one. And then I was good to go. But yeah, I mean, if I was watching the Briar with Ray, I'd sit down. I'd have a couple Pilsners. He'd go through a 10 and a half of Skull Cherry. We'd be all good. There'd be spittoons all over the house. At one point, I'd go to drink the beer, and it'd be Ray's spitter. I'd watch curling then.
There's so many guys, so many people listening that have been on hockey buses that know exactly that oopsie.
Is that not the worst?
I won't get into it because there's one that I know a guy played with. It was that you usually think, and also the guy was picking his scabs.
Oh, that's bad. Listen, I always say you can eat your own scabs, but you can't eat someone else's.
That's good times.
That's what you do always. That's a T-shirt right there. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I just started it today.
What is it? It's about 4:45. What time? So what's your night consist of? When do you go in? What do you do?
Oh, I'll leave. I'll pop in the shower here in an hour, 15 minutes. I might take a nap here after this and hit the road at 6:30, get in at 7. Quick meeting. Go sit in the makeup chair, watch some hockey games, and I think pop on TV around 9:30 out of the games tonight, and away we go.
Right on. There you go. Nice. Anyone watching him tonight? Kenny Reid on SportsNet Central.
I gotta fix the hair, right? That's another reason why I wear the hat when I'm on with you guys. Look at that.
Yeah. Maybe throw in a Kevin Kaminsky.
I'll throw in a killer reference. Sure.
Implement it.
Too bad nobody plays like that anymore. Yeah, man, that'd be fun. Just killer, just
borderline Tom Wilson, maybe.
Yeah. Tom and Brady had a nice little go last night. That was a good tilt. That was nice to see two guys that you want to go.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. We need more people on TV talking about hockey fights. Just putting that out there. It's so funny, when it happens, everyone's, I don't like fighting. And then when it happens, oh my God, did you see it? Like everybody loved it, the Four Nations. And those who didn't, just didn't hear anything then.
Yeah, I was told the story on the show. We were in Orlando. My son and I got off the golf course. There's all these football and basketball guys in the parking lot talking about where they're watching the game on Saturday. They just couldn't get enough of it. And it's like, clue in, people.
Yeah. Hockey's you don't need a fight. You need just to know one might happen. Hockey's best when it's played on the edge and with passion. That's what we saw in that tournament.
Or a guy might take a cross-check in the Chicklets. You never know. Keep it interesting.
You never know. Exactly. The old Saskatchewan toothpick.
Okay. Appreciate you taking some time today. Have a little rinse and then head in, and we'll be watching tonight.
All right, boys. Say hi to Ray for me, will you?
You are right now.
Ray on for an interview. Yeah, and say hi to Hope, too.
Well, they're listening right now. I'm going to call him later, and he's going to go, why does Ken always think I'm a bull rider?
I have no idea why.
But it is fun. It's fun. Yeah.
It is fun.
Got to get him, Wayne Armstrong together, and Ken next time he's in Saskatoon Bidzit. That's your goal.
Get Wayne along. That'd be deadly.
That's your goal. All right. Later, Ken. Thanks so much.
See you, boys.
See you, pal.